What's going on, people? It's your boy Dr. Black. Today I want to talk to you about relationships and specifically my suggestions for women dating. Dating is very complicated these days, and I want to just start with some fundamentals that I find very prevalent issues in our society that I'm suggesting to the women and to people in general to look out for. First of all, I feel like we need to address the elephant in the room. And I'm working on a book that explains, that addresses, that looks at how dating today is new and creative and different, and that the way that dating has been conducted for the last 100 or 200 years is obsolete. And I say 100 or 200 years because, 200 years ago in Western society, your parents chose your partner. In other cultures, your parents still choose your partner, even to this day. But picking your own partner is a recent concept. For hundreds of thousands of years, people didn't marry for love. It was in the Victorian era when romanticism became a thing in print, and they started having stories about Prince Charming and the princess and so on. Then people really started considering different reasons to get married other than marrying whoever your parents tell you. And in the Western society, it's now common. It became common then, and is now common for you to choose your own mate. Choosing your own mate is very difficult. The benefit of your parents choosing your mate was that your parents could see value in your partner that you couldn't see. And the ultimate value of all human beings, as a humanist, I'm proud to say, the ultimate value of all human beings to help any human being to have more perspective, and with more perspective, we can make better decisions. So, a huge issue in dating today is that we choose our own partner. A second issue is that many of us, fortunately, I was very lucky to be born into, and my parents are still married, so I'm in a family. I was raised in a family, a two-parent household, but more than 50% of us grew up in single parent households, mostly by our mothers. So if you're a young lady and you're getting into the dating game, your first boyfriend is your first attempt at a healthy relationship with the opposite sex. Maybe you had an uncle or a little brother, older brother, but you would have never had a relationship, an intimate relationship, or it's unlikely that you had true levels of intimacy with another man, especially if you grew up in a home without a father. Now, the intimacy levels are very limited when it comes to a parent. Your father has a respectful, caring father, draws a line at how intimate it can be, but you can also learn from his example with your mother if he's home. And most men and women these days, I think more than 51% men and women these days grow up in single parent homes. So you're not getting that opportunity to see and experience a healthy relationship from your parents. You go out into the world, you start dating, and you look for a guy and you're attracted, and you go on romanticism's rule of picking your own mate based on love. One of the biggest problems with picking your own mate based on love is without a good example from your parents, you don't know what that really is supposed to look like. And even more importantly, you don't know the proper warning signs, and you don't know where to draw the line when you see a warning sign. Dating today, picking your own mate without experience, is kind of like having a job that you're in a leadership position and you've only attended 1 year of college, one semester for that subject. So you're now the lead accountant at a big time firm, but you've only had one semester of college. This is irrational. No good firm would hire someone with one semester, much less no experience. And that's what we're trying to do in today's dating game, where we get in and we marry someone because we love them. We've dated them for a few months or a few years, and it's the first one that hasn't run away after a while, or worse yet, We have a baby with this person, and now they're good enough to marry, so boom, we're in there. We shouldn't make decisions like that. In the book that I'm working on, I'm suggesting that we take business principles and overlap them in our romantic situations, because we already know business principles work. And like I said in my analogy, you wouldn't hire, if you were a great company, a successful company, you wouldn't hire someone who has 1 semester of education and no experience. So you shouldn't hire yourself, or in the analogy, or in my book, I say you're the CEO of your own life. You wouldn't hire someone as a partner who has very limited experience and very limited knowledge on the subject. And the subject we're talking about right now is romance and healthy relationship habits. One of my favorite phrases, healthy relationship habits. One of the things you miss out if you grow up in a single parent household is how 2 human beings have a healthy relationship habits in romance. So my solution to this is you got to date. Now there are groups out there, there's areas out there, there are traditional people out there, conservatives who say, minimize your dating. We always do this double standard crap where we tell women that they can't date and they can't have sex and they can't do this, they can't do that. But we give the boys a pass. And I say that as a boy, as a person who sees, I hate double standards and I don't promote double standards. If men can get out there and be bachelors and sow their royal oats and do their thing, women, I'm not saying you do it as much, but you have the choice. And one of the greatest benefits of feminism is saying we have to hold men and women to the same standards as best as we can, even if they don't do exactly the same things. So the discussion or the argument or the double standard about women not being able to have partners because a man doesn't want a woman who's had partners is idiotic. If you want a virgin, you better be a damn virgin. And good luck being a virgin in a culture that has over 50% divorce rate. We're speeding towards 60% divorce rate. Because are you going to be a virgin after you've been divorced? What's the sense of this? Virginity is useless. I don't know when it was useful. I don't understand how useful it was. I can't imagine the value of it. I respect people who want to be virgins, both men and women, but I will not be involved in diminishing a person based on their virginity. Just like a job where experience is valuable, I'm sure, I know for a fact, I've experienced that a woman with experience sexually is valuable. 2 people not knowing what the heck they're doing, or only 1 person knowing what he's doing and taking advantage to an extent, exerting his power. A lot of men who like virgins won't do it for power. Doing that is not ideal. I don't support it. So ladies, we gotta start thinking differently about ourselves. You ladies have to start thinking differently about yourself. You have to stop letting people share double standards with you, push double standards on you, and you have to stop promoting those double standards, because women also judge other women for not being a virgin, or for only having, for having more than 2 sexual partners at a certain age, more than 10 sexual partners by 30. These kind of ridiculous, childish things, we have to work on stopping them. We have to stop promoting them. You should have as many sexual partners as you feel comfortable with. And the only criteria for having a sexual partner is how healthy and how safe you conduct yourself. That's all that matters. And anyone who is so immature that they can't see your value beyond how many sexual partners you have, red flag enough, don't deal with them. Very, very simple solutions that we have to start holding on to. Feminism teaches us how to respect women and how to be respected as women. And as a man who loves women and respects women, these are one of the things we got to start doing. Stop letting society judge you by your sexual history. Be more valuable than your sex. And if you're more valuable than your sex, if you bring more to a relationship than your sex, your sexiness, and how many babies you can have, then you won't allow yourself to be judged by how many partners you have. I remember years ago, one of my girlfriends had me watching Sex and the City. I think even my wife also had me watching Sex and the City. And my favorite character was the lady who, I forgot her name, who was more promiscuous. But she was a real professional and she knew what she wanted. And I think that that's admirable. And I think that she avoided a lot of the hang-ups of society because she wouldn't let herself be put into this little box. And most importantly, she had no problem getting men, right? I mean, if I remember correctly, I probably don't, but the point is that she enjoyed her life, whether she was married and settled down or not. And more women need to be like that. A person who wants to settle down with you, a person who wants you to settle down with them, has to earn that. And there's no shortcuts. And I'm going to end the video on this point. If you grew up without a father in the home, if you grew up without a close relationship with a father in your home, without someone who even is like a father, a stepfather, or an uncle who lived with you, if you grew up without a male who could teach you healthy relationship habits between men and women, who could set that example for you, then now as a woman, you have to go out into the dating game and date until you can establish those parameters for yourself. It is not healthy, it is not intelligent to go out there not knowing something, latch onto the first thing based on a fairy tale, the fairy tale of romanticism, excuse me, and then just marry the first guy who smiles at you, the first guy who says, I'll take you across the aisle, the first guy who says, follow me to the promised land. We have to conduct ourselves in a way that we're going to maximize our success. My degree's in management. I'm always thinking about risk management. Risk management is the core of management. Everything has risk. Every decision we make has risk. Everything we try to balance or juggle, or every mission we have, every objective we have has a risk. And if you are in the dating game as a young woman, you're taking on the risk. But it's 2021. And you're the CEO of your own life. You're your own boss. The buck stops with you. You are responsible. No man is responsible for you as a woman. No woman is responsible for you as a man. You're an adult. I say 99% of the solutions in your life start with self. We all have to take personal responsibility. And if we're taking personal responsibility of our actions, then there is no excuses for why we fail to choose a proper partner. It is our responsibility to learn what a good partner is. It's our responsibility to discover if the partner we like has healthy relationship habits, and it's our responsibility to bring a quality person to the relationship so we can hold on to another quality person. I hope this helps. We'll be talking about it again. If you like the video, subscribe, like, share with a friend. See you again. One love.